I'm gonna do the thing where I mark it because I realized I could just mark the audio. Okay, marker. Okay. Hi, welcome back. So if you can't really tell, the energy for this video is hi, welcome back. So in today's video, I am going to be doing a few things. Well, first of all, I'm going to try to film in public, like outside with other people around me, which is very nerve-wracking for anyone that does YouTube for like the first time when they're filming in public. And then if you're a person that has automatic nerves when they're around people, it's even worse. So why am I doing this to myself? I'll explain. Because yesterday I was outside to do work because I'm online school and I have everything that I do basically I can do from home, but sometimes I need to get outside to touch some grass because sometimes the vitamin D really be lacking. I didn't really get to get much work done because I had left my house with a dead laptop. Like my laptop was like on 10%. And the area that I was sitting at the first of all, I left later than I wanted to. Do I want to go into a whole rant about my day yesterday? So yesterday, I went outside and I went to a bookstore and it's called the Drama Bookstore Shop. And I went there to do some work because I went there before and I liked it. And it's like a cool bookstore. So I went there, but usually I knew it opens at 10. So I was trying to leave my house at 10 so I can get there roughly around 11 and then be able to find a spot. Like the spot that I said I last time had the chargers right under the table so I could just, if my laptop's dying, I could just plug it in and stay there for longer. This time I didn't leave until 11. I was supposed to get there at 11. I didn't leave until basically like 10:40 something. I was supposed to be there around 11 o'clock. Basically the time that I was supposed to be at the store, I was leaving my house. So that happened. So I ended up leaving a little bit later than expected. So I was kind of like hoping that I could still get a spot because the whole reason why I want to leave early is to make sure I have a spot. Because it's just like if I go to the spot and it's not there or someone's sitting there, then I'm like, okay, now I gotta look around to find a spot. And for some reason, I don't like looking for spots in public places by myself. Like the thought of people being able to see that I am looking for a spot to sit and possibly fail at the attempt is very nerve-wracking to me. In all honesty, I really don't know why. I don't like people looking at me do stuff, so I feel like if I go to the store and there's no seats and I'm looking specifically I'm looking around, making it obvious I'm looking for a seat and I don't find a seat, then I'm gonna leave the store. People are gonna know that I was only going there for a seat and I couldn't find a seat. But then if I'm at the bookstore looking at books, so what I do is I automatically start looking at a shelf to look for a book so it could look like I was just browsing. Because people go to stores and look at books and leave all the time. But if you're like going somewhere for a specific thing to sit down and do work and people see that you couldn't do that, for some reason in my brain that's too nerve-wracking for people to witness when probably no one cares. That's the thing. Probably no one cares. But I could say that all I want, but when I'm in the right moment, when I'm in the moment, I could say no one cares. And sometimes it works and most times it doesn't. So so that's what was going through my mind yesterday. So I got to the store at like 12 something, later than usual, but I was like, you know what, it's okay. Just pray that I'll find the seat. God help me find the seat. So I was still like nerve-wracked the entire way there, but I wasn't like as like, it was like, okay, just calm down, just breathe. You'll find a spot, just breathe, you'll find, like I had to keep telling myself to calm down and breathe because if I wasn't calming myself down and to breathe, I would have been panicking the entire time. But no one would know because I would just be like this. But in my head, it's like the episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob forgot his name and they're throwing everything down. Like that's the best way how I can visualize anxiety in a nutshell. So yeah. But anyway, I went to the bookstore. I found a spot, not the spot that I sat in last time. So I was already like, okay, crap, my spot's taken probably because I didn't get here early enough. Whatever, it's fine. I'll look for another spot. What did I do first? I went to a bookshelf to make it look like I was looking for books, but I was also looking for seats. So I found a table. I found the area that I looked at last time that I thought was cool to sit at, but there was people there last time I went. So then I went this time and I found the table. It was empty. So then I was looking around, pretending looking at books. And mind you, this is a bookstore that has mostly plays. And not to bash on plays, but I don't really read plays. But like this time, I did end up getting a book because I just was like, I felt the need to pick it. And it was like a collection of plays by, I'm feeling like getting it right now. But there was a collection of plays and I got it to like read. I was like, oh, let me just pick it. But then I found the table, I got the table, and then I found out my laptop was dead when I was at the table, and I was like, great. I also found out I brought food to bring with me to eat at the place, and then I saw on the table that I was sitting at, there was a sign saying, no outside food or drinks. And I was like, cool. So I brought my overnight oats for no reason. Nice. So now I'm hungry, I have a dead laptop, and then there's an outlet nearby my table, but it was for like lampposts only. And mind you, there was people like sitting like nearby me, not close to me, but nearby. So I didn't want them to see me looking for a charging outlet. And then I was like, okay, I was trying to build the courage to just go. Like, mind you, like I'm here and the outlet thing was like right here, but there was people right here. And if I went over there, they could possibly see me going to see if it works. And like, basically, people see me possibly fail scares me. That's basically the whole thing. If they see that it didn't work, it's like, oh damn, she tried, it didn't work. And for some reason, that really razzles me up. But anyway, then eventually the people, I was building up the courage, and then the people left. So I was like, okay, perfect. Now I really can just go. And then that one didn't work because there was a thing stopping it. It was like for lamp stuff only. So basically I couldn't use the outlet nearby me. But then there was an outlet like a little bit further away from me that I can still see, but it wasn't nearby my table. So that means I would have to put my laptop over there and then just watch it constantly to make sure no one steals it. So that's what I did. I was kind of also nerve-wracked because I had a plan. I was gonna go to the bookstore, do my schoolwork, come home, and then do some editing. And then that didn't happen. So whenever I have a plan and it doesn't go to plan, I get frazzled because I'm like, okay, my plan didn't go. What do I do now? That was the plan, and now my plan's not working. I didn't have a plan B. What am I gonna do? So then I was like, you know what? I'll end up being able to just like, I'll charge my laptop for an hour and I'll read this book that I just like was thinking about buying. I didn't buy it yet at the time. So I was like, I'm gonna just read this book for an hour, let my laptop charge, and then angle myself to where I can read, but also see my laptop to make sure no one's stealing it. But then I did that. But then the whole entire time I was reading this like book, I was like looking like, oh my gosh, I can't really, like I was able to focus on what I was reading, but not all the way because I was too frazzled about someone possibly stealing my laptop. No one did because I brought it home safely. And then I charged it for an hour. Great. I opened my laptop, no internet. I usually use the hotspot on my phone for the internet, and I think the Wi-Fi for the store had a password, and I didn't feel like going to ask. I really didn't. So I was like, you know what? This is an L. I've taken the L because because last time when I went there, I was able to use my hotspot, but it was the area that I was in because it was in the back. I didn't have that much service on my phone. So because of my service being low on my phone, that means my phone's Wi-Fi, I can't really use that well. So I was like, okay, great. Came with a dead laptop, Wi-Fi isn't working. So regardless, even if I came with a charged laptop, my work can't get done because I don't have Wi-Fi. So I was like, you know what? I was kind of frazzled about that, but I was like, you know what? Let me just try to. So I was like making it look like it was busy, because then the page was loading, and I'm like, people can see my laptop angle to where they can see the pages are loading, and basically like seeing that I'm trying, but nothing's working. So then I was just reading my book, and I was reading like the draft of my novel that I'm writing to make it look like I was doing something, or like just to try to be like, okay, maybe I'll do some writing then, like, because I could work offline. But I was like too frazzled about what I was supposed to do for that day that I was like, okay, but I still have to get homework done. So I was frazzled, but I was trying to look like I was doing something. And then I was sitting at the table by myself, and then this group of girls sat right at the table I was at. At first it was just one girl. She just put her stuff down. And I was like, okay, there's a person sitting there. She didn't ask if it was okay or if someone was sitting there. She just took it, which I wasn't mad that she took it. I was like, okay, there's a person sitting here. Okay. So I was like, you know what? It's okay. She's just like, okay, it's just one person. And she's on her phone while her friends are looking for stuff. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe she's just like waiting here while her friends go look for stuff. That's fine. And then one of her friends came back and was like I'm guessing asking for a place to, like looking for a place to sit. And her friend said, oh, just sit right here. Cause it was like, at the table I was sitting at, there was three chairs. And I was sitting in one of them. So there's only 2 empty chairs left. So the girl sat in one, and then she had a friend sit in the other one. So I'm like, okay, the girl's reading her book. The girls like talking a little bit, but not really. So I'm like, okay, they're being quiet. I can deal with this. I can deal with 2 strangers sitting at the table that I was at by myself, being quiet. Then the other 2 girls came, and then they're like all like chatty. They're not like obnoxiously loud, but they were talking. And then one girl sat on the floor so one of her friends could sit. The other girl was just staying the entire time. And then they had, I'm guessing, a dad. And then the dad was introducing the girls to one of his like friends, and I was like, I am uncomfortable, to say the least. Like, I wasn't like full-blown panic mode, but I was trying not to get to that point. So I was like, okay, so what do I do now? So I tried to stay, because I was like, let me just face the fear of being around strangers and just, because when strangers are like at a distance, I'm fine. But when they're up close, that's when they become frazzled and have a problem. So then I decided after like 20 minutes of sitting there to leave. One, because I was uncomfortable the entire time and I was trying to calm myself down. It wasn't working. I also had to pee and there was a public restroom at the store. And then I needed to eat because I was really hungry. So I left and went to Central Park and then sat there. And then that came to the conclusion of this video of me trying to film in public because I want to get over my undiagnosed social anxiety because I get very awkward in social interactions. If I was like with friends, when I'm outside in public with friends, I don't get nervous or anxious about anything unless it's like ordering food. Then babes, my friends have known to like, I'm not gonna speak first, I'm gonna probably order my food last. So they know the deal. So I was at Central Park and I was looking for a spot. I did pee. I found a bathroom to pee. And then I was looking around, you know, it was nice and spacious. People were around, but everyone was distanced and it was fine. And I thought, why don't I come back tomorrow and film a video where I'm just out in public and just try my best to like slowly overcome my fear. It's not even it's a fear, but it's like, it's a terror. It's a terror of social interactions when I'm by myself. Because sometimes when I'm with friends, it's not as bad, or it's like, it's not there. But when I'm by myself, ooh. I'm also getting a tattoo today. I'm getting a tattoo. I'm gonna get it on my arm, right here. Can you see? Right here. I'm probably not going to film with a tattoo place because I'm going by myself also. This is the first time I'm going to get a tattoo done by myself. I usually like to go with friends, but I could have asked one friend, but I didn't ask her if she was free. But I did tell her and she didn't ask to come. So I was assuming that she was busy. I could have just asked her anyway, but I didn't ask her and now it's too late. So, but yeah, so I'm going by myself. And then after that, I'm going to Central Park to do more work because I got started on my schoolwork yesterday, but I wanted to do like a good portion, but I'm going to focus on most of that today. And I'll probably do some novel writing too if I'm finished my assignment that I want to do today. So yeah, I'm going to film the entire time. So yeah, so it is currently 10:19. My appointment's at 12, but the place is in Queens, and it's about an hour, a little bit over an hour away. So I want to leave at 10:30 to make sure I give myself enough time to get there and get there on time. So yeah, and then also today, this is basically just me just trying to like overcome just like being like, I don't know, like just like overcome just the undiagnosed anxiety in general. Because literally I'm wearing a dress today. Should I show you? This is the best angle I'm gonna get. I'm wearing a dress. And if you know me, if you watched my feminist, I should have done this angle. This is a better angle. Whatever, it's fine. If you just saw my video essay of me talking about my love-hate relationship with feminism, you would have known that in that video, I did talk about how I, for a long time, didn't like wearing dresses and being girly because it just gave me the ick. And now I'm trying to overcome that ick. Because I do like dressing girly sometimes, but then when I dress girly, sometimes I either feel ick or I'm scared because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna feel like I'm dressing nice. I'm going to cause attention. People are going to look at me. And then that's also a thing that I don't like to do, especially in my neighborhood, because you know how many times I get catcalled in my own neighborhood? Too many. It's not obscene where it's every single day, but like it's enough to make me want to gag. Every time it happens, I want to gag because it's always not cripply old men, but men old enough to look like they can be fathers or their baby daddies. And it's just like, where is your mom? I'm gonna call her and snitch on you because why are you talking to me? And then you know what the crazy thing I did realize about that is whenever there's a guy hitting on me, I'm always getting the ick just because I'm not attracted to them. Because if it was an attractive person, I'll be like, oh, okay, but it's never. That's never the case. I'm just like, ick. But then sometimes if you say an ayo ma, I'm automatically giving you the hardest and meanest RBF face that can stab you in the eyeballs. Or if I have something in my hands, I will be ready to hold it in the sense of a weapon. Like I like when it rains when I'm outside, or like it's not raining yet, but it's going to rain, because I'll have an umbrella, and every time I have an umbrella, I always hold it as a weapon, just in case, because we live in a society where women are never safe. And I'm always ready to beat someone up. Especially if I have like one of like the big umbrellas, I'm like, oh yeah, this can be like I'm ready to attack at all times. If it's a small umbrella, I'm ready to just either bop them in the head or you know, I'm always ready to fight. I'm ready to like fight whenever, just in case. But like I always am, like whenever I'm passing by a group of guys, I always have an RBF, and I'm always just like ready to like pounce just in case if something happens, because we live in a society. So fun. I'm going to talk like if I am on the phone. Oh my gosh, there's a bug on my bed. Okay. I am currently outside, and oh gosh, I'm gonna have to just. Okay, I'm going to talk. I am currently outside. I'm yakking away. It is now 3:40. I'm sorry I'm talking low. This is the best I can do. There's people around, and so I don't want to talk too loud. But I just got back. Well, not back, but I just. No, I was out for like a while, but I came from my appointment. I think I'm gonna yak along. I hope the audio is fine. I have my mic on, but I don't know if it's good or not. But I'm outside. I'm very nervous. And there isn't anyone like right next to me. There are people like a good distance away, but everyone's just here minding their business. So I'm gonna just do the same. Oh my god, there's a kid walking towards me with her mom. And she's cute, but I wish she would just please get. There's people behind me. They can fool you, they turn around and see me feeling myself. So I'm just gonna stop looking at other people. But I came back from my tattoo appointment. Went very well. Very smooth. I was like the first one there for the day, and then someone didn't come until like later. I would say, I don't even know what time. My appointment was at 12, like I said, and then I didn't get started until like 12:30, I think, and I started at 12:30, and then that's when I think it took like roughly I would say 40 minutes to it. I don't think it took an hour. I think it took between 30 and 40 minutes to get done. And then it currently has like saran wrap on, and I had to keep it up for 4 hours. So that's a long time. And currently it is kind of itchy. Not gonna lie, like I kind of want to really scratch it. And also it's a sunny day, and I decided to be outside for the rest of the day. So now I'm yakking my lungs out. Yeah, so since I have the saran wrap on, I currently have it on my arm. I would show it, but I don't know if I show it now. But it didn't. I got it a little bit bigger than I got a little bit bigger than I wanted to, but I ended up liking it because I saw, like, you know how they do the stencil, so I saw it on, and then I actually liked it. So I got it done, and now it's just very sweaty because I was walking. I currently walked. I have a Fitbit on. I walked over 6,000 steps today because the place I went to get my tattoo done is in Queens, and now I'm in Central Park. So I went from the Bronx to Queens to Manhattan. That's a lot of walking. And then walking in Central Park is always, you're walking minimum 10,000 steps to get to a spot, and if you're gonna walk around, so. And then it was really sweaty. And I do have a sweater that like I'm currently sitting on as like a blanket, but I also was wearing that to cover my tattoo because, you know, tattoos usually have to keep them away from the sun, and it is a sunny day. It's 81 degrees, so of course I get a new tattoo on the day when it's very sunny. So there's a lot of bugs like everywhere, and they're crawling all over my stuff. Yeah, there's like people walking. There's like a guy by the road passing right now. That's okay. I'm gonna keep talking. But yeah, so I ended up like doing that, and then all of a sudden I don't know how to speak. My throat is like giving on me. I did just recently eat, so I had the crispy chicken sandwich from McDonald's and fries and a Diet Coke. I didn't finish the sandwich. I devoured the fries, because if there's one fast food restaurant that I would eat fries from all the time, it's McDonald's. McDonald's has the best fries. You can't argue anything else. When they're fresh. When they're like soggy, yeah. But when they're like the fresh, Like McDonald's, they're the nice, they're the perfect size, perfect saltiness, and perfect just crisp and oomph. It's good, it's delicious, it's a great time. I'm here to do work, but I'm also here to just be outside because since like the weather is getting warmer, getting colder, like before it gets too cold to be outside, I've been like making more of an effort to go outside because I'm just like last year I didn't really make any efforts to be outside and I didn't make any efforts to go outside last year. Like last year I was just in my house every single day and I only went out on like Sundays and like whenever my family went somewhere. But other than that, if I didn't make plans with my friends, I wasn't going out. I was only going outside once a week. And for certain people, being indoors for too long can get to you. And this year, I want to make sure I go out more. Just to get out the house because it's just nice to get out the house. So I'm making more of an effort to do that. And it's been helpful. It's like would I rather be like in my home where I can like film whenever I want? Yes, but also no, because being in the house for too long, I mean, have you guys seen The Shining? That man was in the house with his wife and he wanted to kill her. So I'm not saying that I'm gonna do that with like my family, but it's just like being in the house for too long gives you cabin fever, and like certain times of the year, being indoors for too long can give me cabin fever. Everything that I do, I can do whatever. So it's like I should just make the effort to travel, so that way I can just come outside, get some air, and it's been nice. And I like it. I think it's very peaceful being in the park. I've been like, for some reason, Central Park just reaches to me. Every time I want to come outside, I always want to come to Manhattan specifically because I don't know, Manhattan just feels like home. Like I lived in the city my entire life, like literally born and raised in the Bronx, and I don't know. I guess because I live in the ghetto part of the Bronx, I never liked the Bronx. Like at first, I used to not be ashamed of living in the Bronx, but just more like annoyed because it was just never a clean place. Like, the Bronx is one of the dirtiest boroughs. I think it is the dirtiest borough. So it's like living in the dirtiest borough your entire life is kind of annoying. And then when you finally go to college and you live in, I would say safe. I've never felt unsafe at New Paltz. Like I felt like I could do literally anything. Like I literally one time went to the supermarket at 2 a.m. by myself. Like was that something I would do in the city? No, probably because I wouldn't be allowed to to do that, to be honest. Also, they probably wouldn't be. That was a time when it was open 24/7. Now that the supermarket doesn't do that anymore after COVID happened, it kind of shut that down. But there was one time when the store was open 24/7. So I was able to go to the supermarket at 2:30, at 1 or 2:30 in the morning. And I asked my roommate to come with me. That was my freshman year of college. And I asked my roommate, I asked my best friend Jess to come with me, but she was like she didn't want to. So she was like she was like doing something on her laptop, but she didn't feel like coming outside. So I was just like, I'm gonna just go outside then, because I want to go to the store for something. I forgot what I was trying to buy, but I was trying to buy something. And then I just went to the store, and then that's when I saw three, not one. I saw three deers, and that was my first time ever seeing a deer in my entire life. And I saw three of them. I was walking, I was like crossing the street, like basically I was like crossing the street to go officially off campus. And there's like, when right off campus, there's like a bunch of houses, and one of the houses I was on the sidewalk of was the house where I'm pretty sure it's a frat house because they have frat parties. I went to a frat party. I think I went to one or two frat parties. No, I think it was just one. I don't know. I went to one or two frat parties in the house I was passing my freshman year, and across the street from the house was three deer. Like, just three of them just chilling. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's three deer like across the street from me. And I was like in such awe because like if you're like you've been living in the city your entire life, you've never seen a single animal in your entire life. So I was cultured. There's a spider on my bag. I think that was an ant. But yeah, living in the Bronx your entire life, I have never seen any animal besides like a rat. So the only animals you be seeing in the Bronx is rodents and like little rats. So I never saw an animal my entire life, and then to see three deer right in front of my eyes, I was like, whoa, that's a culture shock. And it was the first time, basically being upstate, it was my first time seeing animals, like seeing like deer and rabbits, like bunnies. I mean, squirrels are everywhere. Like they're literally all over the place. I saw deer. What else I saw? I saw deer, I saw bunnies, and I didn't even see bears. I saw bears at a summer camp that I worked at. it was like the orientation day, and we saw a bear, and I was like, what's going on? And it was a black bear. I was like, why are we still standing here? Like, can't we? I'm like, do y'all not know I'm black? I'm the first one to die in these situations. Like, can't we go? But yeah, being upstate was my first time seeing like animals, and then I guess like just being outside all the time and coming back and living in the city now again. I do definitely like every time when I was like living upstate was nice, but like I was like I could not stay here. Like being here was like being in New Paltz was nice because I was in the college area, so I was on campus with friends, and it was still like somewhat of the city. But like being like I know like once I was outside of college and then to just live there for fun, I couldn't do it. Like I couldn't just live there and like have a life because I'm like, what am I gonna do? Because one, transportation sucks at New Paltz. Like it was like you need a car and in that area, and then also like the sidewalks are so small. There's barely any street lights. Like you have to freaking play chicken to get across the street, and then it was just too slow paced. And it's kind of crazy because it's like as a person that really like deals with like social anxiety, I love living in a city. Like I don't see myself living anywhere else like besides a city. I think it's because I was born and raised in the city, so I'm just used to living in the city and it's the most comfortable. And like even though I don't like being around people, I still like living in the city, which is around a bunch of people, which is it's an oxymoron. I realize my entire life is an oxymoron. Like literally, like I can give you a list of things. Like literally, I'm not gonna get into that. But my entire life, there's a lot of things about me that are complete opposites. Like I'm currently studying to become a professor, but yet I literally have social anxiety. Like, babes, how are you trying to be a teacher when you can't even speak to people? But like, it's whatever. Like also I'm literally trying to be like doing social media and here I am literally afraid to talk to people. So it's like, my and there's other things too. But yeah, I definitely want to continue coming outside to the park more often. I did recently on like last week Saturday, I came to the park with my friends to do like a picnic, and it was nice. Like we did come here late, partially because of me, but it wasn't my fault that we came out here late because I told them I was gonna be late already, so it just ended up happening to where we all ended up meeting up at the same time. So, but it was still nice to like be in the park and have fun, and then ever since I just been like, let me just start coming to Central Park. But the whole point of me saying that was that basically Manhattan feels like home, where it's just like every time I'm in the Bronx, like I think ever since I left New Paltz, I just had this infatuation with Manhattan. Like I don't know what it is. I think like Manhattan is the closest thing to not to freedom, like the closest not the closest thing to New Paltz either, to be honest. I guess style wise, yeah, because whenever I like literally today, like how I was talking about earlier before I left my house, I was talking about how like whenever I try to dress nice, people are always like approaching me, or like people are not always approaching me, but like it creates this attention that I don't like. Like I don't like people looking at me and stuff like that. And then literally when I walked out the side, before I even crossed the street from my building, I I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure there was a guy trying to walk up to me, or like he was passing by me, he was saying something, and I'm pretty sure he was talking to me, but I had my headphones on, so like I didn't hear and I was ignoring him. Trying to just basically people steal. It took me a lot of courage to even do this. Like just a simple fact of like, yes, I'm making it like kind of hidden, and like I have my headphones on to make it a little bit. Oh, maybe people might think I'm on the phone or something, just in case people are looking at me. I think I will get to a point where one day I won't care if people are looking at me. I'll just be like, well, I'm doing my job, like I'm filming. And I feel like the one thing that's a little embarrassing is that like for me personally, that if someone like comes up to me and is like, oh hey, are you a YouTuber? Because people know what YouTubers are now. If someone says that and I'm like, yeah, and they're like, oh, what's your channel? And then I tell them my name, and then I don't have a certain like number, like a high number. I feel like because I feel like when people get approached, it's like I think I saw like either like my family and the Chamberlain, like people approaching them like, oh, what are you doing? And it's like, oh, I'm filming a video. Oh, you have a YouTube channel? Oh, what's your channel? And then they look them up and they have millions of followers. So it's like, oh, snap, that's pretty cool. But then if you look up a small YouTuber like me, it's like, oh, she has 100. Well, now I have 99 because someone unsubscribed from my channel. There's so many ants everywhere, and it's bothering me.
Don't run, just wait and you will see that we destined to be if only you didn't mind. Don't you lose sight of what you want. Care about the simple things in life that bring you joy and wave away your days. Don't you lose sight of what you want. Care about the simple things in life that bring you joy and wave away your darkness. Leave your worries far behind you. Leave your ocean on the shelf next to the classic novel. Don't you